So you're a new driver looking to have a good day, right? You don't want to run into any problems. You want to make it as good as possible. You got the uniform on, you're out here driving the whip, and all of a sudden, you're having some problems, man. You get to this place and you don't know what's going on. You don't know what to expect. You're calling your manager, you're calling your dispatcher. Well, guess what? It's gonna happen more times than not. I'm gonna give you 5 places that you're most likely gonna run into some trouble at. These are not in any particular order. If you do like this video, consider liking and subscribing. Helps out a ton with the channel. You're getting closer and closer to 2,000 subs. We'll be doing a giveaway at 1,500, $100 just to get back to the community. But with no further ado, let's jump into the video. With us today, we have a special guest, none other than my girlfriend. She is a FedEx employee, right? Right? Tell us what you do. This is her first time being, well, it's not her first time being in front of camera, but like this.
I started off as a full-time driver, but I am now a swing driver. So basically I cover routes, other people's routes when they're absent. You know, they call in sick or they don't show up.
We're gonna just go down through here. This is from number 1. So number 1 is big stores like Costco, Walmart, and Sam's. For me particularly, it is Costco. I have numerous problems with them. I don't mean to call Costco out. I know they're a really good place to work for, but when it comes to picking up for them, either they're never ready, they don't know why I'm there, they want the FedEx 18-wheelers, FedEx Freight or ground. Sometimes it's already picked up. So those are like the 4 main ones. Rarely do I go there and it's actually a good experience. More times than not, I have to sit in the back and ring their bell and just keep ringing it. And when I show up, they're like, I don't know why you're here, man. Turns out I have to be in the medical area where Costco's at and not back there, or vice versa. So it gets really confusing. Like for that store, I've had Walmart and Sam's, but particularly those, it's like you mess up once and you just have to wait for somebody to come to the door. I think that's what drives a lot of us. We're going from place to place and we don't like to be there more than 5 minutes. Honestly, in my opinion, I don't like being there more than 3 minutes because my route's pretty, I got a lot of places to be in an hour. So that kind of wastes time in my opinion. But more times than not, one of those stores or even those big brand stores, you're gonna run into some problems. So keep an eye out for those. Do you have any place that maybe you can think of that's a big brand store that you run into?
Not in the area that I was before, but this past week, I was in somebody else's area and they have dealerships.
Okay.
They have dealerships, so the good thing about those dealerships is I didn't have to go into like the, I guess, maintenance area or anything like that. I just went straight into the front, and I mean, they didn't have boxes, it was just documents, so.
Okay, that's good. All right, so you're having good experiences with dealerships. As long as like through the front door, it's pretty good. So that's very, you ain't running into any problems with that. All right, so going on to number 2. Sorry, I keep looking this way. I wrote them down and I don't have it behind me, which I should. High rises with a lot of boxes. So if you don't know what a high rise is, it's pretty much a building that's tall where you're gonna have to take an elevator up and down. I consider a high rise anything that's like on the 3rd floor and below. Some people have to go to like the 10th floor, 15th floor if you're in the city, and that could be kind of crazy depending on how your route is, and especially if you're bringing a lot of freight with you back or you're delivering it. It can cause a lot of time to be lost, and hopefully you don't have anything else to run into. I know you have a high-rise building, so how does that work out for you?
I have 2. I have a 4th floor one and a 2nd floor. I don't know if you consider 2nd floor high-rise, because that 2nd floor, all I do is just grab documents because I don't have any boxes. It's like really rare that I'll have a box.
Okay.
But the 4th floor, they deal with docs and they also deal with like computers. So they'll ship out like a lot of monitors at a time sometimes. I'll have like 60 to like 90.
Right.
So I have to have a dolly, and if I don't have one, they'll have one, but it's not like a big one. So I have to go up and down like 2 or 3 times to get all those boxes down. Mind you, I have to go through security, so I have to push the button.
Oh, so you have security too?
It's that one. I have to push the button. They have to let me in, go up the 4th floor, back down, go through that door again, and then ring again. It's back and forth.
It's back and forth.
So the good thing about those places is that if you have a good relationship with them, they'll let you know if they have anything or not. So.
Oh, okay. So you have their phone number.
Yeah.
Which phone numbers are actually not recommended to grab from FedEx itself, but I will assure you that it's probably
Comes a long way.
it goes a long way if you have a good relationship. Now, if this guy is mean as hell or a girl is mean as hell and they don't care what anything you have to say, you probably don't want their number because they're just gonna use you. But yeah, so high rises with a lot of boxes I got for number 2. Number 3, anything anything in the airport slash security, what you just said. So I put those two together because more times than not, when you're in the airport, you're gonna go through security before anything. I had experienced this with another company called Granger. They deliver like maintenance parts and all that. Most of my route was heavy, and I will tell you, it was a living nightmare. I mean, just getting lost was one thing. I had to call people before they even showed up. So like if there was a pickup that was inside of the airport, I had to call, they had to show up, they had to look at the box, and then they had to come pick it up. There was other places where security was there. Security, I mean, it wasn't that their fault, they were just doing their job, but if there was like 5 trucks ahead of me and I needed to get that box off, that's where the stress started to come in. And then not only on top of that, there was this one particular spot where I would wait, right? And they'd have to open up my truck, make sure everything was cleared out. We went inside, and then I have to wait again because there's a line of people waiting to go in back of a dock and unload their truck. So stuff like that can become a really big hassle. So just look out for any of that. If you have anything in the airport, be ready because that is some crazy stuff. Now that's just my experience. It could be better elsewhere. But you know, dealing with security, anytime you deal with security, it's going to take time. So hopefully you get a good relationship with them, because I know in some cases for me, they saw FedEx or they saw Granger or whatever, Amazon, and they just let me go to the other side. So there was a, you know, there's a side you go in and go out. They're like, hey, just come over here. We know who you are. Just get in and get out. So that's really good for me. Anything you want to put on that?
I don't have anything in the airport. I do have a lot of security, but like you said.
Do you have any problem with securities ever?
No. I think the only time that I had a problem was that high rise. I think he was new though.
Yeah.
Probably was new. They have to take your information, so they have to write down who you are, what company you're with, what time you came in, what time you go out, type of thing.
Right.
And he held me back like 10 minutes.
Okay, so he was just doing his job at the end of the day.
But I think he was new, like I said, because the other security guards, they have everything already like pre-written, I guess.
Okay.
And they just kind of put in the time that I arrived and the time that I leave.
We're going to jump on to number 4, which is big ass warehouses, and I put lost, busy, busy as fuck. So the thing about big warehouses, especially if you've never been there, you are going to get lost. If there is no information on that Leo, even if there is, that information could be old, you're going to get lost.
Sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. You're going to get lost. So like I was a couple months ago, before I recovered from COVID, I was showing up early to take care of some other stops near my route. And I was running into these huge warehouses where, I mean, I was out here getting lost. I was over there, I was going to the dock doors and seeing which one could open. I was like legit like, is this one open? Or number 7, is this one open? Like, no, number 6 is supposed to open. Lost. I mean, it was crazy. And then sometimes I get lucky though. I'd open it, it opened right up. And they're like,
oh,
who are you? I'm like, I'm FedEx. I'm FedEx. I'm here to grab your box. And they're like, oh, here, it's right here. So big warehouses, is most likely you're gonna get lost. I think that's what happens there. And then you'll run into those particular problems. Usually you're gonna have security, usually you're gonna have to wait, and hopefully you don't. Hopefully there's enough docks that you can back into. When I'm at a new spot, I will try to see if there's anything I could do that's gonna make it easier for me. I will ask them, is there a certain spot you can put me at? That way I can just get in and get out, because I'm only supposed to be there for like 2 minutes. That's what the job says on the thing. Like, you shouldn't be there no longer than 2 minutes. 5 minutes max, but 2 minutes short. That's if it's a regular stop. If it's a bulk stop, you get up to an hour. More times than not, after your first go around at these huge warehouses, you'll kind of figure out how to implement that on your route. So I got that for number 4.
I think the only thing for me is, like you said, in those Leos, they don't update anything. So if you have a warehouse and they tell you go to dock number 2 and it says suite 16, and you're like, well, where's dock number 2? And there's like you know, the numbers could be faded, or
yeah, that's true.
there's a truck in front of it, so you don't even know if that's the right one. So you're going back and forth trying to find this dock to back into. If anything, I go through the front door and I'm like, hey, I have a pickup. Where do I go? Because if not, I leave. Like, I don't waste it's a waste of time if they don't have anything updated, or sometimes they don't even have anything.
Yeah.
So.
And most of these wouldn't be a problem, right? If you weren't wasting time. Most of this has to do with just time being wasted. And as you know, UPS, FedEx, Amazon, we're always rushing. We're all, I got the Prime shirt on right now because I think they're having another Prime Day coming up. I went through that in 2021. Let's just say it was a week. It was a week of hell. For the customers, they're like, oh yeah, Prime Day. But for me, fucking crying out there on the road. But yeah, that's that. So for number 5, this one you don't have. For me, it's and I don't want to pick them FedEx. I don't want them. It's the FedEx offices. Now you would think, oh, that's your store. We on the same team, man. We out here getting these pickups. Sometimes, more times than not, you don't have, unless you've been there for a long time, you got to build that relationship with them.
Yeah.
And there's some sneaky things that these offices will do. I will say, I've caught them in the action. I won't talk about it exactly, but these places are going to be busy. They're going to have a lot of stuff. And if you are I'm the last pickup for their day. Like, I don't go and sweep. I'm their last pickup. So if I'm going there, it is usually going to have tons of stuff. I'm gonna get annihilated in there. I have to be there for like 30 minutes. Mine is put at a weird time, so I actually show up earlier just to get started before I start scanning, so I can get out in a good time and not be late for my next pickup. There's also people that come in, so like for me, I go in, there's people also still trying to get their stuff out, but once it hits a certain time for me, I cannot pick up anything else because it causes me to run behind. And a lot of people don't understand that. They think I'm trying to be rude and mean. And I will squeeze in somebody if they got one envelope. But there's sometimes where people are bringing in like 40 boxes. And I'm like, I can't take that, man. Like, if you want, I'll be nice. I'm like, there's a drop box here and I will meet you there and take it if I'm willing to do that. I feel bad sometimes, but at the same time, like, I can't take it, man. Like, not right now, because they're going to have to put it through this system. You need a receipt for one thing. I can't give you a receipt. And it's gonna cause us to waste time. They're like, oh man, you can take my box, man. Why can't you take my box? Sometimes it's not even going with express. It goes with ground. And they don't understand that either. And even when I explain it, they're just like, oh yeah, it's FedEx, man. What you mean? Yeah, so sometimes I don't even try to argue anymore. I just like explain it. If they ain't trying to hear it, then I just keep moving on and do my job. So yeah, I mean, I know you don't have a FedEx office, but you have.
I think if anything, they should have a specific parking for y'all.
Oh yeah, that's another thing.
They should have one.
There's no parking for us, so
they should have one right in front of the door and then just put FedEx only.
Yeah. So I have to. Mine is in a really tight area. I have a video of how like small my location is and where I have to walk to. I don't think I showed where I walk to, but I have to park way off to the side. I could just be an ass and park in front of everyone and not care, but at the same time, I care about the customers. I'm not trying to make everybody mad. So I park way off to the side, and that takes time too. So that's good that you threw that in there. I didn't even think of that. That is my 5 things that you're most likely going to run out here on a pickup route. So I mean, this could go for deliveries too, honestly. But I'm a pickup driver. I don't know too much on deliveries, so that's why I'm just giving my input of what I know. But if there's anything else that you guys want to throw in here, definitely leave it down in the comment section below. That's why I got my girlfriend here, because she knows how it is out there, and it can get tough some days, but we try our best. I think more times than not, we get it done right, but you're gonna have a couple hiccups here and there. So that's gonna do it for today's video. Like I said, I hope you guys do enjoy it. If you made it to the end, give it a thumbs up and let me know in the comment section below what your favorite pickup is on your route. Other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Stay safe as always, and peace out.